So hello everybody, this is Vitali here at Firestorm Records, home of Red Barn Productions, and we're doing another review video today. Actually, we're starting a new one and combining an old one at the same time. So it may be a little bit longer than normal, and it may be slightly boring, and I apologize. I don't have anybody here in the studio to help me work the cameras and stuff while I do the commentary, so we're just going to do it this way. Hopefully you can see everything in the videos. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that a year ago I bought an X-32 console, the full console, version 1. At the 11-month mark, it went down on me, and I had to send it back to Behringer, who immediately fixed it. It took about a month, so I mean, in the scheme of things, it was actually pretty fast, but during that month I had shows coming up. I had 2 bands in the studio recording, and I had to do something. So the minute I realized that I was going to have to send that console off, I jumped on the internet and went over to sweetwater.com and immediately bought me an X-32 Rack with the intentions of if things worked out and my console was fixed, then my console would no longer have to be doing double duty. Most of you know that my console was, not only was I using it for live sound, I was using it here in the studio to record because it gives me 32 channels into my DAW. And it's a lot of features that you just couldn't beat for at the price point. But anyway, enough of the console. I'm happy with it, and I do plan on buying another one to have a second one, so that should tell you something right there. But here is the X-32 Rack. As you can see, it is sitting up here on my desk because I'm now using that in conjunction with an S16 stage box to give me a full 32 channels of recording capability here in the studio. Yes, it's limited to 44.1 or 48K, but that's okay. It hasn't been a problem for me. I've actually got an album that has been submitted for consideration for Grammy Awards. I'll know more about that in 6 days, so check back. All that was done on the console and the rack. And this is where we're going to combine 2 products. If you remember, last year I bought the X Touch, the flagship version, not the smaller one. And I was of mixed feelings of it at the time because it worked perfectly in Cubase, but not in Pro Tools. I stayed with Pro Tools right up till 12.7, and more of it was working in 12.7 than 12. But at the same time, I upgraded to Cubase 9 Pro, and everything works flawlessly in 9 Pro, and I do most of my work in Cubase anyway, so I dropped Pro Tools. If anybody ever needs it, then I can go over and renew my subscription and bring it back up. It's no big deal. And I will have to say that after using this in conjunction with my X32 Rack, I'm so glad that I have it, because if you can see the main volume knob there, not only can I control my DAW, I could control my X32 Rack. And it works with all the Behringer X products, the X32 console, X32 compact, X32 producer, the XR12, the XR16, the XR18. As far as I know, it was meant to work with the entire X line, and I'm glad that it does, because we're going to get into some of the cons of the X32 Rack, because I did have to use it at some live shows, and as you know, the only choices you have, and I'm going to pull up the software now, is either accessing everything off the front of the X32 Rack, or taking your computer and using the software. And it all works fine, except for the fact that I have gotten used to selecting a channel on the console, and then I have a whole channel strip for that channel. The software offers you something similar to that, but not exactly the same. Uh, I struggled with it at first, so that was the cons. Uh, for somebody that starts off with the rack and the software, it would probably not be an issue. I also have to say that the X32 rack, I honestly think that the mic pre sounds a lot better on the 32 rack than it does my console. But my console is a version 1, so they may have made some changes to the mic pre since then. I do not know. I'll reach out to somebody at Behringer and find out. Uh, but for $1,000, I have to say that X32 rack so far has been a great bang for the buck, and I hope that helps. Uh, we've only had it a month, so check back once in a while and see if we do any new videos as we go along, because I've just been finding a lot of stuff since I moved to the rack, which is in the console too. Don't get me wrong. It's just being the rack version, it's made me dig more into the features and the stuff, because it's sitting here on my desk every day and it's hooked up to my computer, and uh, it's just opened up a whole world in my production, both be it here in the studio or at a live show. And yeah, anyway, I know that's not a lot of help, but it was $999.99 at Sweetwater. Uh, you can check with them, and you can probably get it on 3 easy payments of $333.33 plus a $10 uh, transaction fee on the first payment. So uh, it's well worth the money so far, but we've only had it a month. If there's anything that you need to know about the X32 rack or the X Touch or the X32 console, if I know the answer, I will get back to you. If there's something that you would like to see, leave it in the comments. Uh, if I can get the time to do that, I will gladly do that for you. And this is Vitali here at Firestorm Records, and y'all have a great day.